This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
Gee, I think we're out of tea.
I brought some. I'll be right up.
That was a clip from one of my growing up as a kid. I was saying this earlier. A couple of my favorite shows. Well, I'll name them off.
Go ahead.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yep.
One of my favorites with Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore. The Mary Tyler Moore Show with Valerie Harper. Lou Grant was in that.
Yeah.
Ted Knight.
Yes.
Right.
And Georgia Engel, a whole bunch of Betty White.
Betty White was in it, you know.
Wow.
I mean, some of the most legendary actors and actresses of all time, and especially when it comes to comedy. Like when even listening to this clip, the timing was just impeccable at that time.
Yeah.
It was just a whole different environment when it came to the way the writing was, and it was
exactly
right?
Sway. Oh, absolutely. And you know, it was just, and that was Nancy Walker.
Yeah,
great.
Yes.
Straight from Broadway. Not straight from. She had a long career, but she was magnificent.
Yeah.
That brought a tear to my eye to hear her.
To hear
and
that.
the fun I had acting with her. And the other one, who's in your bailiwick, Tracy and Heather, and of course Sway, is the spoken word is Julie Kavner. Brenda.
Kavner, yeah.
She's been Marge Simpson for 25 years.
Right.
And the sisters and other characters. But isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
They really cast beautifully. They wrote beautifully. And I'm in another situation right now like that with the writer who is doing the show I'm coming into.
No, are we talking signed, sealed, and delivered on the Hallmark Channel, right?
Actually, signed, sealed, delivered, like Stevie.
Yeah, like Stevie Wonder.
No and.
No and.
I wish Stevie was on the show. He may be. You just never know. But if Carol Burnett's going to be on the show.
Carol Burnett is going to be on the show?
She's going to be a guest. Another couple of beautiful gals. Valerie Bertinelli, the young Valerie.
We had her on a couple weeks ago.
Isn't she fun?
Yes.
Yeah. And Della Reese. Because she was the angel on Martha's first, well, not her first.
Touched by an Angel.
Yeah. And she wrote comedy back in, way back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Wow. Martha wrote on that show, and she developed her skills, and her heart got big, and she did 9 years of Touched by an Angel.
Wow.
And now this is about the dead letter office in a postal department, and that means undeliverable mail.
Yeah.
And these 4 kids, led by Eric Mabius and 3 other wonderful actors, and they are a little team. I'm their supervisor.
Yeah.
And I come in to kick butt.
That's what Valerie Harper is kicking butt. Valerie Harper has joined us, the legendary. And this is going to premiere Sunday.
Easter,
Easter Sunday at 8 p.m. on Hallmark.
Hallmark Channel.
Hallmark Channel.
Yeah.
Betty White. When you name all these names, Carol Burnett. See, you know, Valerie, I was a guy who just, when I was growing up, I was primarily raised by my great auntie and uncle, who were from Louisiana, migrated from the islands, Jamaica. And they used to like to watch a lot of black and white TV. We're talking the 70s. So the reason why I know all of these shows.
Dick Van Dyke and Mary, absolutely.
It's because they talk. So I sit at home. Nick at Night is a great channel.
Yeah, it really is, Heather.
They rerun all these shows. So for you to be working in 2014, you know, and doing a show like, what does that feel like?
It's fantastic, especially this year of such a terrible diagnosis that I got January 2013, that I had 3 months to live, maybe 6. And they measured that, the doctors measured that about the survivability of my disease.
How do you pronounce it? The cancer you had?
Oh, leptomeningeal carcinomatosis. The carcinomatosis is about the cancer. Meningeal means people get meningitis.
Yeah.
That is the lining of the brain. It's like 2 pieces of saran wrap, and a spinal fluid is flowing through all around the brain, every crevice of the brain, up and down the spine. So it's a huge area, but the disease is microscopic. It's real tiny, and they have to take the spinal fluid and look for it. And then they found it. And then they have to diagnose what it is. Mine happened to be lung cancer. And I tell it every day. What are you guys doing up there?
Yeah.
Why are you there? You're not in the lung.
Yeah.
And usually this disease has cancer other places in the body. And recently in the fall, I got a great full body scan, it had not progressed.
Wow.
Still have cancer. It's still a killer. But you know what? I'm not letting it kill me. Every moment I'm alive, I'm alive. And that's how people should. And I am so surprised that you are as young as you are, and you have such a deep heart connection to those shows. They were always about something. They were about the best in us. They were about love, irreverence sometimes, but not dependent on either filth or meanness. More than the dirty. I don't like the comedies of today that they're so mean. They seem, and it was great. It was Alan Burns and Jim Brooks writing them. Now I have Martha Williamson doing a great job for me and all of us.
Valerie Harper is here. I want to open up the phone lines for some of the callers. If you wish to speak to this legendary actress, this beautiful person, and I want to actually build on what you were saying about how the early television programming kind of helping shape and mold the person I become being in entertainment. Okay? Valerie Harper is here. 888-742-3345.
Signed, sealed, delivered on Hallmark.
19 minutes into the hour. I'm going to watch this Easter Sunday. It's going to be on the Hallmark channel. 8 p.m. Eastern. Valerie Harper is one of the stars of this film. We know her from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Dancing with the Stars. We know her from Rhoda.
I got to correct you, Sway. It's not a movie.
It's not a movie.
Series.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got to keep coming back because Carol Burnett's coming on.
Yeah.
And a lot of wonderful actors are coming as guests. Yeah, it's the Touched by an Angel lady. She's redoing her stuff.
She's doing her stuff.
Not redoing it. She's been a mom. She has 2 daughters, and it changes you when you move through life. And she's just great and wonderful.
You're just great, Valerie Harper. Let me ask you. You know, you've had such just a colorful career. You know, when Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda were out, what was different about those characters? They were single women, you know, living in a city.
That's right.
They were maintaining. They made their own livelihood. They weren't dependent on men. And that was kind of like revolutionary at that time, right?
What was revolutionary was that we were reflecting life.
Yeah.
A lot of television at that time was doing the dream of, you know, mom in high heels and pearls in the kitchen making breakfast, and daddy was either a doctor or whatever. And that was not what was happening in the country. A lot of women were hustling on their own and not finding the guy and worrying about, will I ever have kids or whatever. So it was very truthful, and that's what you picked up on.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think back, think at your career, what were some of those milestone moments that stick out to you?
Oh, on Mary, when Phyllis's brother comes to town. Phyllis, played by the fabulous Cloris Leachman. She's pushing Ben, his name was, at Mary, but Rhoda and he really click, and they start running around together. And Phyllis is seething, and then finally she gets a little high at one of Mary's parties and says to Rhoda, "Listen, I know you're going to marry Ben." And I said, "What? I'm not going to marry Ben, for God's sake, Phyllis." She said, "Well, why not? He's intelligent. He's elegant. He's well read." And I said, "He's gay." The audience went crazy, and they laughed for a full minute out of the shock of it. And then Phyllis's line, which was supposed to be the comedy line, says, "Oh, Rhoda, I'm so relieved." So which man better gay than marrying dumb, awful Rhoda? It was hilarious, and we got another big laugh. But that was the first time I think it was really said
that somebody was
in the
gay.
70s. Yeah. And as I talked to I said, the director and I, we were discussing, should you kind of break it to her? She doesn't know. Why would she be married? And I said, should you lower your voice and say, he's gay, or, you know. And I thought, no. Rhoda would say, he's a priest.
Yeah.
He's in Tibet.
Yeah.
He's married.
Yeah.
Some other reason I couldn't marry him.
Yeah.
But just say he's gay, as a matter of fact, and it worked wonderfully.
It worked wonderfully.
Yeah, it did. That was one. That was a hallmark. But there were lots of them. I mean, over time. But that was the one that I remember. That was a big one, right? Yeah. I think so.
People tend to be harsher towards people. You mentioned lung cancer.
And
sometimes people say, "Well, you smoke, so you have lung cancer, and that's part of it."
Heather,
but you told me
you're right on the nose, baby. It is a stigmatized disease, and 60% of the new cases, Sway, that are diagnosed as lung cancer, 60% are non-smokers.
Wow.
Yes. So if we got lungs, we're in line for lung cancer. It's 3 causes: environment, the air and all the stuff, and who knows what other chemicals. Our hereditary, what if it's in our family, and behavior. For sure, smoking. No one should smoke. It absolutely contributes. But what it does is distances us from the cancer victim. They go, oh, that's one lung cancer. That's one cancer I don't have to worry about. Yes, you do. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women.
Wow.
Yes.
And you never smoked?
Never. I never smoked.
You never, never had a joint either back in the 70s?
Maybe once.
That's what I'm talking about.
But literally, I sound like Clinton, but I did inhale and then choked to death.
Okay.
And I went up for commercials to get cigarette commercials because they were very big at that time. And I would bomb out every time. They'd say, "You're not a smoker, are you? Please get out of my audition room." So I really... And I did a play where I had to be a Golda Meir was a smoker, the first female prime minister of Israel, a great, wonderful. And I had to fake it, but I can fake it real good.
You can fake it. Let me see.
Yeah,
watch
this. What you do, you take the drag into your mouth.
Okay, I don't smoke,
and then lift your chest. No smoke going down, and then.
Oh, and then
didn't that look good?
That looked like you just hit. It looked like you hit a blunt right there. That was you took a deep breath. I didn't know that wasn't a cigarette, Valerie.
But that's how smokers of tobacco do.
Okay.
And I never got into it. I once ate some brownies because they looked delicious in the kitchen. Yeah. And I went, oh, I'm on Weight Watchers, but I'm going to eat a few. And I ate 3, and then I rearranged the pile. No. I go back in, and the hostess says, oh, by the way, we have a treat. It's Oscar night. These are special brownies, if you know what I mean. I went, oh, my God. Well, that's okay. I never smoke it. I don't. Out to lunch for 3 days.
For 3 days?
Oh, my God. So I do not imbibe, darling. And I don't, and I'm glad people are getting less hysterical about it.
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol should be banned before marijuana, in my opinion.
Oh, wait, Heather. Okay, well, everybody has their issues, Tracy.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, you don't like the idea that it's legalized? Or,
I love alcohol.
Well, that's okay, but you can handle it. You're not laying in the street in the Bowery.
Not every night.
Not every night, but there's been a few.
I don't say ban alcohol, but I'm saying it's more destructive, I think,
than marijuana.
Sure.
And yet maybe we have to wait and see. I don't do either. I am a fogey.
Good for you. Good for Valerie Harper. That's not a fogey.
No, I don't think it's just the way I am.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to tell you a quick story. I drank my mother's perfume. When I was 4, I saw it. It looked delicious. It was called Intoxication. It was in a carved, the 40s. I was born in 39, so this was the early 40s. And it was carved like a decanter, like those old British drawing room comedy shows. And I saw it looked great. I took the glass cork out and just chugged it.
Yeah.
And every time I take alcohol, it tastes like perfume.
Tastes like perfume.
I swear to God.
But your breath smells good even to this day because of it. You know that, right? I can smell. I was just going to compliment you on your breath.
Really?
Smell.
Oh, good.
It smells great. It smells great.
It better smell good that we're this far apart.
I know, right?
If I was up in your face, I'd say, okay, maybe because no, good.
Yeah, good. And I would tell you. All right, go ahead, Tracy.
Valerie, I need some love advice, and I know a lot of citizens are going to feel me because when it comes to long-term monogamy, I look at that as a very frightening lifestyle. And I know you mentioned,
Well, because you're not ready to commit. You're not ready to get married. You're not. Right,
but
go ahead.
Like being with someone for such a long period of time, because I know you've been with your husband for 34 years.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's just going to end up being monotonous. And at some point.
No, he's got skills.
My man Tone, he's sitting right here, too.
He's Italian-American. He loves me. I would never think of being with anyone else. I don't want to be. I think women are more that way. But you're telling me, young cutie, that you're not ready to commit, darling.
Possibly not. Maybe just for like 2 years, short term.
Maybe, but don't write that script for yourself.
Right.
Leave it open to do that or never marry. You don't have to marry. You can't. No, you don't have to. That's not, have to be for women. In fact, Rhoda lost her what is it? Mojo.
Mojo, yeah.
The funniness because she was suddenly Sadie, married lady, rather than Rhoda going out with these terrible dates. A lot of comedy there. So, no. There's no prescribed thing, I don't think. I think there are people that feel that, for religious reasons or whatever. But, look how young you are. Be free, baby.
Be free. She's very free. Valerie, our time is cut short.
I'm sorry.
But Valerie Harper, thank you for coming by the show. And signed, sealed, delivered is Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Hallmark channel.
And they'll see me in a crazy wig. Red, too young for my age on the show.
But you look great.
It's long and it's funny.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your spirit, your energy has just really motivated us.
Yeah. And please share the word about lung cancer. I'm working with the American Lung Association to get the word out that we have to make this a public health priority.
Yes.
Look at the number of people that are being killed. We just need more research dollars and more awareness.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Valerie Harper, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.